So getting straight into it, this Habakkuk 2 and verse 4, it says, "Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith." You see? So it's no uprightness in the so-called white man. You see? Obviously, because if you think it's some uprightness in him, then you have to ask the question as, okay, we just heard about, particles in the air, the air quality is low and poor, because of vehicles, but who is behind all of this? Who flies chemtrails 24/7 around the country? You see, who does these things? Who created GMOs? Who created these pills that you people consume? Who pushes abominations in your face and makes it into a delicacy? None other than the wicked, which is Esau Edom, the so-called white man. So there's no uprightness in him. He can't do right. It's impossible for the Edomite man and the Edomite woman to do right. It says, "Yeah, also because he transgresseth by wine. He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people." You see? So this man is as death. There's no life that comes with this man. You see? So you Jakes shouldn't even be looking at Esau for help. You should be looking towards Yahweh Shemal Shai for help, because that's ultimately where your help comes from anyways, This Revelation 6 and 3, it says, "And when he opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, Come and see. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth." You see, so the earth has been given into the hands of the wicked, Job 9 and 24. And this further proves that this red horse is talking about none other than Esau Edom. You see? Because this man is the nation of people that has the say-so in the planet Earth. His influence has went out throughout the four corners of the earth. People listens to his doctrines. They don't listen to the doctrine of Yahweh Shemal Shai. They don't follow the customs of the Lord. No, they follow the customs that Esau set up. They follow his ways, his mindset. And he's taking peace from the earth. I was looking at an article last night, about Catalina Islands over there in Los Angeles, and they were talking about how, they basically messed up the ecosystem by putting mule deer there in the 1920s and the 1930s. And now, the mule deer are basically overgrazing, they messing up the ecosystem to where things cannot reproduce, so to speak, because the deers are eating everything up. They clearing everything up, But who's the fucking mastermind behind that? Esau Edom. Cause Jake didn't take no mule deer and travel them all the way to Catalina Islands. Elam didn't do that. Ishmael didn't do that. No, it was Esau. And now we look at the end results of doing stupid things like that. Now you're interfering with the way Yahweh Shemal Shai set things up, because certain animals are supposed to be reserved to certain parts of the earth. That's good for them and good for the ecosystem, man. So everything can flow correctly. So everything can have a balance. You see? But what Esau like to do, he like to take certain animals from their natural habitat, travel them all the way across the world, and then put them somewhere they ain't used to, just to make a fucking a fucking documentary on them, man. You know. So this man, this unwise king, you know, is destroying everything, man. He's destroying life. You see, even animal life, plant life. You know, it says, and that they should kill that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. You see, verse 7, it says, and when he had opened the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth beast say, come and see. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him. Yeah, it doesn't matter where Esau goes, death follows him, you know. It says, and power was given unto him over the four part of the earth to kill with the sword and with hunger and with death and with the beasts of the field, you see. So this man is as death. And this is why we're crying out to Yahweh Shema Washai to take this man out of the way. You see, this Ecclesiastes Sirach 35. I'm going to start at verse 16. It says, he that serveth the Lord, Yahweh Shema Washai, shall be accepted with favor, and his prayer shall reach unto the clouds. The prayer of the humble pierceth the clouds. Until it come nigh, he will not be comforted, and will not depart till the Most High shall behold to judge righteously and execute judgment. You see, so by us crying out, you know, against this man's system, by us setting our face against Mount Seir, like we were commanded to, and prophesying evils upon it, you know, the Lord is hearing that. The Lord is answering those prayers, you know. And we're not going to be comforted. We're not giving the Lord no rest day nor night until he judges righteously in the earth and execute judgment. Because this is how the Lord is going to be ultimately known in the earth anyways, is by the judgment that he's going to execute upon America and Esau, you know. Because it has to take divine intervention to take this man down. It's nothing carnal you could do to get this man out of the power seat, because he's been given what? That great sword that we just read about. And that's what upholds his kingdom, you know? But when Yahweh Shai steps in, the Lord's going to destroy all of that, all of his dreams and hopes, you know? And the Lord's going to establish a righteous government, a righteous kingdom, wherein dwelleth righteousness. You see? But this Matthew 24 and verse 22, it says, and except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sakes, those days shall be shortened. You see? So lest these, you know, the days of Esau, Edom, rule and be shortened, it ain't going to be no flesh left to be saved, whether it's man, woman, or child, or whether it's beast, plant life, you know, all that. Under this man's rule, everything is going to literally die if this man stays in the power seat, because his main goal is to distribute death throughout the planet Earth. You see? That's why we read earlier, he is as death. He can't help it. He can't get right, you know? But that's why I said, but for the elect's sakes, the Lord is shortening his kingdom for the elect's sakes. You see? So, Lord willing, that was edifying. I would like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and men who taught me the truth. Peace and blessings be to the hopeful elect, men, women, and little ones that believe on the words of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai. Shalom.